So, hi, hello, you lovely, cheerful, and energetic students. How are you? Welcome back to another super energetic, super awesome, and super amazing biology class on the wonderful platform of Avanti. Yes, today we are going to start off with the chemical coordination and integration chapter. I hope you all have learned it, but yes, we are going to do it again and we are gonna clear our concepts. This chapter is all about facts, right? How hormones are getting produced, where actually it is working, and when it works, what it is producing, right? So this chapter is all about that. Yes? Yeah? Cool. So this is very easy chapter. We are just going to learn the analytical part of this chapter. Yes, how to learn this chapter. There are so many terms in this chapter. So how to learn it, how to learn this chapter properly, that we are going to see today. Before this, which chapter we had learned? There was a chapter called as neural coordination, right? Neural control and coordination. Yes. With this, what we had seen, that neurons were there, nerves were there, which were forming the impulses, right? Nerves were there and those nerves were forming the impulses. But major drawback of the nervous system is what? It cannot reach to each and every body parts. It cannot reach to each and every body parts of yours, right? It cannot go into each and every body parts. Nerves cannot reach to each and every body part, right? You can't create it all the time. You cannot create it all the time, right? You can't create it all the time. Then it cannot innervate all your body parts. It cannot innervate, it cannot go into, or it cannot reach to all your body parts. Okay? Yes? Plus, if nerve impulses you need to create all the time, if nerve impulses you need to create all the time, it is gonna be complex. It is going to be complex. Hormones, simple, just one impulse, one signal should go to hypothalamus. Hypothalamus will control pituitary gland and pituitary gland will take care of all the endocrine glands, right? Yes. So it's not like nervous system is not required. Both are required equally. Yes, our body functions get completed only when your nervous system and your chemical coordination system both are working together. Yes, chemicals you get from chemical coordination, impulses, electrical ions, sodium ion, potassium ion, you get through nervous system. Yes? Yeah? So that is your nervous system and chemical coordination difference. Yes? It cannot reach everywhere. Hormones can reach everywhere. Yes? It cannot be created all the time. Chemicals can be created whenever it is required by the body. Yes? Veer, I can see your messages. You can message me here itself. All right? Yeah. So now we are going to learn the chemical coordination chapter. Okay. What is so important about this chapter? From head to toe, you need to see where your endocrine glands are. From head to toe, you need to see where your endocrine glands are. Right? So start from the head. Okay. Let us start learning it from the head. Right? What will you be getting in the head part? What will you be getting in the head part? Tell me. Hypothalamus. Right? Though it is not a gland, it has some neurons which secrete and they are called as neurosecretory cells. Right? Hypothalamus. It is the master of master gland. Then what else do you have? You have a bony cavity. You have a bony cavity called as sella turcica. Called as sella turcica. In this bony cavity, you have pituitary gland. What do you have here? Pituitary gland. Pituitary gland. Cool? And here somewhere you have hypothalamus. Tell me, pituitary gland is connected to hypothalamus by a stalk-like structure. By a stalk-like structure. What is that called as? Infundibulum. Yes, awesome. It is called as infundibulum. Got it? So hypothalamus, brain, pituitary gland, brain. Pituitary gland is present in a bony cavity called as sella turcica. Pituitary gland is connected to hypothalamus of the brain through a stalk-like structure called as infundibulum. Cool? Now what is the other gland which is present? You know, the other gland which is present? Pineal gland. Awesome. Next is what? In the brain you have pineal gland also. Got it? So these three things, hypothalamus, pituitary gland and pineal gland, you get from your brain. You get it from your brain. You get it in your brain, right? Now coming down, come to the throat area. Okay. Let's say what I am drawing. Tell me. Drawing is not nice, but you need to, cooperate with me and tell me what is it. What is it? Yeah, thyroid. Yes. Okay. So on either side of thyroid, on either side of trachea, this is your trachea, right? On either side of trachea, what do you get? On either side of trachea, what do you get? Thyroid gland. On either side of trachea, what do you get? Thyroid gland. Tell me how many thyroid glands? Either side I told, matlab both sides, right? So how many thyroid glands? 2, 1 pair. Yes. Now what else do you get? Or before that, just tell me the shape of thyroid gland. Shape of thyroid gland. Can you see it is looking like a... If it is not looking, you need to tell me, okay? You need to still imagine and tell me what is it. What is it? It looks like a... See, it looks like a... Now at least tell me. Yes, butterfly. Yes, it looks like a butterfly. Shape is what? Butterfly. Cool? Now, in the thyroid gland, in each thyroid gland, you get a pair of parathyroid gland. You get a pair of parathyroid gland. In each thyroid gland, you get a pair of parathyroid gland. So tell me, how many parathyroid glands? 2 in each. Total 4 parathyroid glands. Right? Now, coming down towards your heart. Okay? Coming down towards your heart. Which gland do you get towards your heart? Near the heart? Which gland? Thymus. Right? You get what? Near the heart. What do you get here? Thymus. What do you get? Thymus gland. Okay? Yes? Coming down. Coming down. After this, okay, where is that color? Got it. Coming down. Let's say this is abdomen part and then again legs part. In the abdomen part, tell me what will you be getting? In abdomen part, what will you be getting? Pancreas, right? Pancreas, leaf-like. Yes. Pancreas is, tell me, it is mixed gland, endocrine gland or exocrine? It is mixed gland. Perfect. Pancreas is mixed gland. Other name of mixed gland. What is the other name of mixed gland? Heterocrine gland. What is the other name? Heterocrine gland. Okay. And what is it? Your pancreas. Yes. It secretes enzymes as well as it secretes hormones. That is why it is composite, heterocrine or mixed gland. Tell me, the other endocrine glands which are present in your abdomen area. Adrenal gland, right? Where are they present? On the kidney. Where are they present? Suprarenal gland. They are what? Suprarenal gland means superior, above, renal related to kidney. Suprarenal gland, right? Adrenal gland. How many kidneys? How many kidneys? Yes, 2. So how many? Adrenal gland. How many? 2. Right? Yes. Now let me have your gonads. Right? After this, we have to learn what? Gonads. If it is male, in the male you will have what? Testis. Right? And if it is female, you will have what? Ovary. This is male, this is female. Ovary, gonads. Yes, they are called as gonads. Male gonads and female gonads. It will produce gametes as well as it will produce hormones. Okay? Yes? Is there anything which I missed? Just go through it. In the head, you have hypothalamus, pituitary gland, pineal gland. Thyroid. Either side of trachea, you have thyroid gland. On the thyroid gland, a pair of parathyroid. Yes, Sanjana, I can see your messages. Thymus gland near the heart. Then pancreas, adrenal gland, gonads, testis and ovary. Is it over? I think it is over, right? Pineal gland we have discussed, Adi. Yeah. Now sometimes your heart also start to secrete hormones, right? Sometimes your GIT, gastrointestinal tract, also start to secrete, right? So your GIT, right? Your heart, they are what? Your kidney, they are also sometimes going to secrete some hormones. Okay? Yes? So sometimes your heart, yes, your kidney and what? Your GIT. They also secrete. Alright? They are not called as endocrine gland, but sometimes some cells present in them can secrete. They have endocrine cells. Kidney is an organ, right? Yes? Organ means group of tissue. Group of tissue and then group of cells. So some cells can get modified and start secreting. So you can't call them as endocrine gland because its complete function is not to secrete hormone. That is the reason why hypothalamus is not called as endocrine gland, because some neurons of hypothalamus secrete. They are called as neurosecretory cells. They are called as neurosecretory cells. Yes? Yeah, yes, your message is visible. Yeah, Purvam is asking, can testis and ovary be called as heterocrine gland? Do you know any enzyme secreted by testis and ovary? Any enzyme secreted by testis and ovary? Testosterone is hormone. It's not an enzyme. No, right? So how can you say it is heterocrine? Whenever you have enzyme secretion as well as hormone secretion, then we say When any gland is functioning both as endocrine as well as exocrine, we say it is heterocrine. Yes? Yeah. Yes, Meghna, you can message here. I am here. I am seeing all your messages. Okay. So this is what we are going to learn. All right. These glands, this gland, pancreas, adrenal gland, and then how testis and ovary are secreting hormones. Which hormones? All those. Okay? Yes. Yeah. Cool? Yes? All right. So there are so many students who are asking to which account they should message. Rashmi ma'am, can you message everyone that they should message me on co-host? Yes. So now we are going to start one by one. Okay. Endocrine gland. Or first, let us see types of glands. You know it already, but still, just to make you feel good that you know things. Yes. So you have what? Glands. You can divide this into 3 types. Right? What are they? Exocrine. Oh, wow. What I'm doing. Exocrine. Right? Endocrine. And then heterocrine. Yes? Mixed. You can also call it as mixed. You can also call it as composite. Okay? Exo will have ducts. Through the duct, secretion will flow. And the secretion is called as enzymes. Endo, duct is present? No. Right? Secretions are called as hormones. Here we are going to be focused on hormones in this chapter. Right? Since they don't have duct, you know it. They are called as ductless. Yes. Yes. Heterocrine, mixed or composite. What happens here? You can have both. You can have ducts also. If ducts are present, it will secrete enzymes, which means it is exocrine part. If it is endocrine part, duct will be not present, which means it will secrete hormones. Best example to learn is pancreas. Yes? Cool? Yes? Yeah? Now I'm taking you to the endocrine gland. Okay, I'm taking you now in detail to endocrine glands. Yes, Hari. Yeah. We have several type of gland based on how they are pouring their secretion. Yes? Yeah. That we learned in structural organization also. Apocrine gland, holocrine gland, right? Merocrine gland, right? Based on how much secretion they are doing, we have different types of gland. Okay? Coming to endocrine glands. So let's not get confused. What I am telling you now, listen, okay? Endocrine gland. Okay? We can have organized endocrine gland. We can have organized endocrine gland and non-organized endocrine gland. Organized endocrine gland and non-organized endocrine gland. Can someone guess, just wild guess, what are organized glands? Now, if any one of you feel that it is difficult to type so much, you can tell me, I will unmute you. Okay? Or you can write in little short forms. Okay, I will understand. I teach biology, so I will understand what you are writing. Yes, Ankita is saying true glands. Awesome. Organized means the cells will be organized properly. The cells will be organized properly for the secretion. For secretion. Cells will be organized properly for secretion. And what are they? All your endocrine glands. All endocrine glands. Cool? Non-organized. They don't have proper organization of cells, but still some cells can secrete. Like just now I told you, no, gastrointestinal tract. They are example of non-organized endocrine gland. Then you can have heart, you can have kidney. These are non-organized glands. Their function is not to secrete hormones. It's just that few hormones of them, they have got evolved to secrete hormones. Okay? So these are two types of endocrine glands, organized and non-organized. Got it? Yes? Raise your hands, click on yes, reply to me fast. Any of these three things. Cool. Next. Next, what we should learn? Next, what we are going to learn is something which is related to chemical nature of hormone. Okay? You all know, right, what is hormone? Is it a nutrient? Give me the answer in yes or no. Is it a nutrient? Is it going to give you nutrients? No, they are not nutrients. Then what is the function? If they are not nutrients, what is the function? They are chemical messengers, right? They are chemical messengers. Now let's say that, okay, I'll take this example. There is Abhishek, your friend Abhishek here. He is eating now, okay? He is having something. So let's say he is eating and that got used up in his body. That got used up in his body. Okay? Now, can he get the food back what he is eating now? Can he get the food back what he is eating now? No, right? He cannot get it back. Yes, similarly, the chemicals which are used, you cannot form it again. Means it is not reversible. Once used is used, right? Let's say receptor is present, hormone has come, this hormone has given the signal, okay, got used up. Now again, if same receptor wants the same hormone, again the hormone should be synthesized. It is not reversible, okay, it is irreversible. All right. So hormone is a non-nutrient chemical which acts as chemical messenger, right? And it is irreversible. Okay. Now coming to the chemical nature of hormone. What actually hormone is? It must be made up of something, no? What is the chemical nature of hormone? What is the chemical nature of hormone? Anyone knows? Yes, awesome, Meghna. It can be protein. Can it not be fats? Think. Can it not be fats? Yes, no? Can it not be fats? It can be fats also. You can see that your proteins can also act as hormones. Your fats can also act as hormones. Now, here is the challenge to learn which hormones are proteinaceous in nature and which hormones are made up of fatty acids. Okay? Yes? So we are going to learn that now. Let's say I am dividing it into first proteinaceous. Okay? Proteinaceous. Alright? In proteinaceous, you can have several things. Because protein is made up of amino acid, right? You can have amino acids derivatives. Yes. Second, in this only, you can have short peptide. You can have short peptide. Short peptide means very less number of amino acids, right? Then you can have long peptides. Long peptides. Then what else you can have? You can have glycoprotein also, right? Glycoprotein means what? Protein is combined with carbohydrate. Glyco means carbohydrate. You can have glycoproteins. Now, this is easy, what I told you. Now, can you tell me some names of the hormones? If you know. Anyway, I'm going to write it. Amino acids derivatives. Yes, awesome. Pizza. Epinephrine, norepinephrine. Then amino acids derivatives. Thyroxine. Right? Yes. Anything else? Then you can have dopamine, serotonin. These all are amino acids derivatives. Okay, from amino acid something happened, some change happened in amino acid and they are the derivative of amino acids. Cool. Short peptide. Come to the short peptide. I'll change the color. Short peptide. Oxytocin you have heard? Yes. You have heard vasopressin. Common name of vasopressin. It is also called as ADH. Then MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone. Yes. Long peptides. Come to the long peptides. Long peptides. Long peptides. You can have parathyroid hormone. Then you can have insulin. You remember so many amino acids are there in insulin, right? Yes. Then you can have this thyrocalcitonin. Thyrocalcitonin, TCT. You can have ACTH. These all are long peptides. Then coming back to this, glycoproteins. TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. That is what? Glycoprotein. Then you can have what next? I think what is missing? FSH is missing, no? FSH, glycoprotein, follicular stimulating hormone. Yes, Shashank. What else is remaining? LH, right? All these are what? Glycoproteins. You can say LH and FSH are what? Gonadotrophin. Yes, they are gonadotrophin because FSH and LH will act on the gonads. Yes? Yeah. Then this is your proteins. Now what else is asked in the exam? What else is asked in the exam? This epinephrine and norepinephrine is derivative of which amino acid? I told you, no, these are derivative of amino acid. So they ask you that these are derivative of which amino acid? Epinephrine, norepinephrine. They are derivative of epinephrine, norepinephrine. Yes, they are derivative of tyrosine. They are derivative of tyrosine. Tyrosine. Thyroxine. Even thyroxine is derivative of tyrosine. Dopamine. That is also derivative of tyrosine. Serotonin. That is derivative of tryptophan. This is derivative of tryptophan. Okay. There is one more which is missing here. One more hormone I missed out. Melatonin. Melatonin is also amino acids derivative. And this is also derivative of tryptophan. Okay. So this is something which you need to learn. They ask you, what is epinephrine and norepinephrine? Amino acid derivative. Which amino acid derivative? Tyrosine. Similarly, serotonin and melatonin, they are derivative of Which amino acid? Tryptophan. Got it? You solve previous year questions, you will get these types of questions. Okay? Yes? So that is that. This is proteinaceous hormones. Can we go to the next one? Can we go to the next one? Yes? Raise your hands. Children? Yes, okay. We can go to the next one. B. Steroids. Steroids. Steroids means what? Cholesterol and all, right? Steroids, lipids, right? Steroids. What do you get here in steroids? Mineralocorticoid, glucocorticoid, right? Sex corticoid. Basically all corticoid hormone. All corticoid hormone, they are steroid hormone. All corticoid hormone, they are steroid hormone. So all corticoid hormone is secreted by adrenocorticotropic releasing hormone, or I can tell you it is secreted by which gland? Adrenal gland. Which area? Cortex. Which area? Cortex. Adrenal gland has two regions, no? Right? Adrenal gland has how many regions? Two regions. Peripheral region is called as cortex and central region is called as medulla. So the adrenal gland cortex region secretes which kind of hormone? Corticoid hormone. Since it is secreted by cortex, we say it is corticoid hormone. Got it? Yes. Now which type of corticoid hormone? They are mineralocorticoid, they are glucocorticoid, they are sex corticoid. Three types. We will be learning that since three types of hormones are secreted by the cortex part, the cortex part has how many regions? How many regions? Three regions. Three types of hormones you are getting. So how many regions in the cortex part? Three part. We will be learning it. Yes? So these corticoid hormone are actually your steroid hormone. These are your steroid hormone. Mineralocorticoid, right? Glucocorticoid, yes? Sex corticoid. All these are steroid hormone. Cool? Yes? Next, we can learn about fatty acid derivative. This steroid is your what? Lipids, cholesterol, right? Lipids, cholesterol. Fatty acid derivative. Fatty acid derivative. See, we don't focus much on these topics, right? We feel that okay, it is easy, right? But examiner knows that you are going to ignore this, right? That is why questions always come from this topic. Yes, so you should know nature, chemical nature of hormone and what all comes under them. Okay, the chemical nature of hormones you should know. Fatty acid derivatives. Name the hormones. Prostaglandin. Prostaglandin. Okay, prostaglandin, we call it as P hormone. Prostaglandin, we call it as P hormone. Whenever someone slaps you, right? You feel pain, no? Yes. Whenever you get hurt, you feel pain, no? Do you feel pain or not? That, oh, this stomach is hurting, this is hurting, that is hurting. Ma'am, it's painful. So you know why that pain comes? Which chemical is responsible for the pain? Which chemical? Yes, it is P substance. And what is that P substance? I have written it. What is that? Prostaglandin. Okay. Yes. Prostaglandin. Fatty acid derivative. Which fatty acid derivative? Ankita has already answered. She is always one step ahead. Awesome. Chetan has also answered. Yes. It is from Arachidonic acid. Arachidonic fatty acid. Arachidonic acid is a fatty acid, okay? Yes. So I told you, no, that it is derivative of fatty acid. Which fatty acid? Arachidonic acid, prostaglandin. Okay? Yes. So basically, see, if in the exam they don't break this, it might happen that they don't break it down into short peptide, long peptide, amino acid derivative. They might ask you directly, which among the following are proteinaceous in nature? So see, all of these are proteinaceous in nature or not? All these hormones are proteinaceous in nature or not? Yes, all of them are proteinaceous. You can see the bigger category is proteinaceous. I have divided it into multiple subparts, right? So in the exam, they can ask you directly proteinaceous or they may break it down. Chances are very less to break it down because in NCERT, they have not broken it down. But this is very important. You should know this, okay? That which amino acid gives which hormone. This is important and this is also important. Arachidonic acid, fatty acid gives prostaglandin. Okay? Yes? And arachidonic acid has how many carbon? 20 carbons. 20 carbons. Basavaraj had answered it. Yes. 20 carbons. Yes, Vijalakshmi. Cool. So with this, you have learned the nature, the chemical nature of hormones. Got it? Yes? Yeah? Okay. Have a big smile on your face while learning biology at least. Yes. Perfect. Done? Yes. So now we are going to learn what? I am not going to teach you now. You will tell me. Every hormone is acting on what? A cell called as what? Target cell. Hormone is acting on what? A cell, and you call it as what? Target cell. Now, who is going to answer this? What is a target cell? How will you come to know that this is my target cell? How will you come to know? How will you decide that any cell becomes a target cell? How will you decide that? It is very simple. See, what happens? Hormones. What happens? Hormones. They bind to the receptor, right? Hormones bind to the receptors. And where are receptors present? In the fluid or on the cell? Where are receptors present? On the cell, right? Where are receptors present? On the cell. So can I say any cell having receptor on it? Any cell having receptor on it will be called as what? Will be called as what? Target cell. Right? What's the target cell? Very simple. Any cell which has a receptor, right, on them, that is a target cell. Right? Yes? Now, we can have two types of target cell. Right? You have receptors over here for the hormone. Right? You have receptors over here for the hormone. And the hormone, when combines with receptor, makes hormone receptor complex. Right? Now, there are some hormones which can pass through the membrane. There are some hormones which can pass through the membrane. Tell me, which kind of hormones can pass through the membrane? Which kind of hormones can pass through the membrane? What is the nature of cell membrane? Tell me. What is the nature of cell membrane? Bilipid or not? Bilipid or not? Yes, it is bilipid. Yes. So those who are replying me, you need to reply. I don't know, like I'm not able to see your messages. You need to reply me on the other account. Okay. So you can have hormones which can cross the cell membrane. So think which kind of hormones can cross this membrane? Which kind of hormones? Like dissolves like. You have heard this, no? Like dissolves like. So if this is lipid, which kind of hormone will come inside? Lipids. Lipids hormone will come inside, right? Now, we have proteinaceous hormone. We have steroid hormones. What is the nature of steroid hormone? Fats, right? What is the nature of steroid hormone? Fats, right? So this steroid hormone can come inside because it is lipid. Yes. What about proteinaceous hormone? Can it come inside? No, because it's not lipids. It will not be allowed to go inside. So what is the solution for it? To have the receptor on the surface. To have the receptor on the membrane. Yes. So these type of receptors which are present on the membrane, for which kind of hormones? For proteinaceous hormones. They are called as membrane bound receptors. They are called as membrane bound receptors. All of you got it what I'm saying? Yes? Yeah? Okay. So that is hormone, that is membrane bound receptors. Now for them, steroid, lipid can pass through the membrane. Where will you get the receptors? Inside the cell. You can get it inside the cell, right? Inside the cell. So which kind of receptor it is? Can I say it is intracellular receptor? Inside the cell? Yes. Intracellular. Intracellular. What I am doing? Intracellular receptor. Right. What about this? On the membrane. Bound to the membrane. Membrane bound receptor. Got it? We have two types of receptors. One present on the membrane, one present inside the cell. Inside the cell, intracellular receptors. On the membrane, membrane bound receptors. Now this is also clear that membrane bound receptor is for which kind of hormones? Steroid or proteinaceous? Membrane bound. Write in short form, no? Membrane bound receptors. Yes? Are you replying? I can't see any reply now. What has happened? Can you all reply now? Yes. I can't see any messages. I don't know why. Okay. So you have membrane bound receptors for proteins. Yes. And you have intracellular receptor for steroid hormones. Got it? Yes. Now depending on this, if you see the last page of your chapter, you would find this. Two types of mechanism of hormone, right? Take example of protein. Take the example of proteinaceous hormone. Any proteinaceous hormone, right? FSH, LH, epinephrine, norepinephrine. All these are what? Proteinaceous in nature. So let's say we take example of FSH. It is there in NCERT also, right? You have FSH. Now this FSH, follicular stimulating hormone, is proteinaceous in nature, which means where are you going to get the receptor? It can't cross the membrane. Where will you get it? Yes. Where will you get it? You will get it on the membrane. So hormone will bind to the receptor. When hormone binds to receptor, a complex is formed and called as hormone receptor complex. Called as hormone receptor complex. Hormone receptor complex. Cool? Raise your hands. Yeah? Cool. Hormone receptor complex. Now,
Ma'am?
yes?
I'm sorry, this is Rashmi.
Yeah, ma'am, tell me.
Ma'am, all students are asking me that they are not able to send you messages and you are in host account. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah,
Now,
I don't
can
know
you
why they are not
can
able
you
to send
just tell
messages.
me now? I have texted you in your co-host account. Can you able to read my message?
No, no, no. You need to text me on host.
No, there also it's not going, ma'am. Now I have changed. Now you are able to get my messages, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
In both the accounts, I'm texting you, host
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well as co-host.
Acha, it's fine. No problem. They can they can respond by raising hands. Yes,
Yes,
no.
ma'am.
That I am able to see. Yeah.
Okay,
You
ma'am.
can
Thank you.
turn your videos on. Okay. Yes, I don't know what is this technological, technology glitches. I don't like this. Yes. So yeah, hormone receptor complex that will be formed on the membrane, right? Now, since this hormone could not enter inside, it has some message, no? It has some message for the cell, but it cannot reach inside. So what it does, it creates second messenger. It was the first message. It came here, right? Now, since it can't come inside, it will create a second message. And we say what? Secondary messenger. Secondary messenger. It is in the form of calcium or what? Cyclic AMP. Calcium or, yes, I can see the messages now. Something happens, a miracle. That everyone message I can see, but the private message I can't see. Okay. So secondary messenger can be what? Calcium or cyclic AMP. And then this secondary messenger will create what? This secondary messenger will create the response, the physiological and biochemical response. Biochemical and physiological response. Right? Now, since we took FSH, no? What will be the biochemical and physiological response? This FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, it will act on follicles, right? What will be the change? Biochemical change and physiological change. The follicle will start developing. The follicle will start developing by the follicle stimulating hormone. Got it? Yes? Yeah? Cool. Perfect. Yes, Tamanna. Yes. So this is your one way of mechanism of hormone. You have another way also. What is that? What happens in that? We have learned it already, just revising it. Hormone hormone can enter inside. It can bind to the receptor present inside the cell. It will make hormone receptor complex. Now it will go to the nucleus and it will bind to the DNA. And you can see changes are going to happen on genetic level. Changes are going to happen on genetic level or not? Because they are binding directly to the DNA. The hormone receptor complex is going to make the changes in the DNA. So you are getting what? Genetic transformation. Yes? Yeah. So this genetic transformation in the gene will take place. And you know, gene has nothing but what? Information. So this DNA is going to make mRNA. mRNA will make proteins. And finally, you will get what? Physiological response. Physiological response. Cool? Yes? Yeah. Okay. So these are the two ways by which hormones act on the target cell. One which can pass through it and one which cannot pass through it. The one which can pass through it will have receptor inside the cell. Okay. It will bind, it will make hormone receptor complex. Then it binds to the genome, makes the changes in the gene. And then replication, transcription, translation takes place. Then DNA will make mRNA, transcription. RNA will make proteins, translation. Protein has been formed that will give you the physiological response. Got it? Yes? Yeah? Yeah, perfect. So that is the two ways by which hormones act on the cells. All right? So what we have learned, if you see this clearly, we actually started the chapter from the beginning and then we went to the end, right? We started the chapter from the beginning, that parts where all endocrine glands are present. Then we jumped to the end where we learned about chemical nature of hormone and then mechanism of hormone action. What is remaining now? To learn each and every endocrine gland, right? And what are their secretion, right? If that is not secreted in the amount which it should be, then what happens? Hyposecretion. If it is less secreted, it is hyposecretion, and that will cause some disorder, right? Other case of it, if it is secreted more, then we say what is happening? Hypersecretion. What is happening? Hypersecretion. And even this can cause disorder. Yes? Yeah, so we need to learn what? The glands. What do they secrete? If they are secreted less, hyposecretion, what are the disorders? Cool. Similarly, if they are secreted more, called as hypersecretion, condition is hypersecretion, what all disorders we get? Yes, simple, no? Chapter is so simple. Yes? Yeah? Yes? Cool, perfect. Now I am taking you back to the slide from where we started. See this. Hypothalamus is the master of master gland, right? It secretes how many types of hormones? How many types? Two. One is releasing hormone and one is inhibiting hormone. Releasing hormone will tell pituitary gland to secrete the hormone, right? And inhibitory hormone, like hypothalamus, it will secrete two types of hormone, releasing hormone and inhibiting hormone. Releasing hormone will act on pituitary gland and it will secrete the hormone. The pituitary gland will secrete the hormone. Inhibiting hormone will also act on the pituitary gland and pituitary gland will not secrete the hormone. Yes? So hypothalamus controls your pituitary gland by releasing two types of hormones, releasing hormones and inhibiting hormones. Got it? Yes? Yeah? Now, hypothalamus is connected to pituitary gland, right? How we are going to see? So we are going to see the hormones of pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, which is present in a bony cavity called as sella turcica. Pituitary gland has two lobes, right? Anterior lobe, posterior lobe. Yes? Anterior lobe is also called as, yes, it is also called as, what is it called as? Okay, you can't answer, right? Yes, even if you are answering, I can't see that. Yes, it is called as adenohypophysis. Adenohypophysis. Posterior is called as neurohypophysis. These are things which you know. Yes, there is something in between which in human being is merged with the anterior pituitary called as pars intermedia. Pars intermedia. Pars intermedia. Okay? Yes, which is merged with the anterior pituitary in human beings. Okay? So anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary. Posterior can be called as neurohypophysis, or you can also call it as pars distalis. Pars distalis, right? So posterior pituitary, neurohypophysis, pars distalis. This intermediate pituitary can be called as pars intermedia. Anterior pituitary can be called as adenohypophysis. Cool? Yes? Now these are connected to hypothalamus. These are connected to hypothalamus by a stalk-like structure, infundibulum. 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 Now, there are two more structures. There are two more structures. One is what? Posterior pituitary is directly connected to hypothalamus. Let's say this is hypothalamus. Posterior pituitary is directly connected to hypothalamus. Anterior pituitary is connected to hypothalamus by portal circulation. By portal circulation. I hope you are getting, right? I can see your facial expression. Yes. Anterior pituitary is connected by portal circulation. Posterior is directly connected to hypothalamus through the hypothalamic neurons. Through the hypothalamic neuron. With this, you should also learn that posterior pituitary does not secrete, does not synthesize any hormone. Posterior pituitary does not synthesize any hormone. Hypothalamus will synthesize the hormone and will send the hormone to posterior pituitary. They will just store the hormone. Whenever it is required, they will release the hormone. Got it? Posterior pituitary never synthesizes hormone. Always hypothalamus synthesizes through the neuron. It will be sent to the posterior pituitary. Here it will store. Whenever it is required by the body, it will be released. And what are they? There are two hormones secreted by posterior pituitary. What are they? What are they? Yes, oxytocin and vasopressin. Yes. Yeah. All right. Cool then. So today we learned about mechanism of hormone action. What else we learned? Where all endocrine glands are present, types of endocrine glands, and then types of glands. Right? Tomorrow we are going to continue from pituitary gland, the hormones of pituitary gland, where they act, and the deficiency symptoms. If they are secreted more, what is the disorder? Okay? Yes? Any doubt up to now? You can do this if no doubts. Yes? Okay, perfect. All right then. We'll meet tomorrow then? Yes? All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. Yes.